So Evie and I are going to do a little bit of accustoming her to having her nails clipped. And this is something that many dogs don't like. A lot of dogs are sensitive to having their paws handled. Because they are sensitive in general, but also because we don't do enough habituation to handling very often when our dogs are puppies, and so it's unfamiliar to them. And then when we do try to touch them, it's painful or it's uncomfortable and they're restrained, and we may be squeezing their nails with a clipper. So it's not always an easy thing for them. And in general, unless we have, for example, a very old arthritic dog or nails which have grown very, very long and are perhaps causing pain, then nail clipping is never an emergency that needs to be done in a hurry or needs to be done now. And if it does, and our dog is worried, then that's the time to speak to a veterinary surgeon about perhaps getting some anti-anxiety medication or even sedation, so that we're not forcing the issue in a dog that has to have it done. But rarely is nail clipping an emergency, so we always have time to plan for it, and we can do it little by little. So we can see Evie is offering paws here, but if I was starting from scratch with her, I would first of all, yes, show her the nail clippers and mark her for noticing, and then reinforce. Yes. And so if you can see it and it does you no harm and it's close by and you can quietly watch, then it's a positive thing. Sit. Good. Wait. Yes. I actually don't want her interacting. I don't want her moving in and targeting, because that's going to be annoying when I'm trying to clip her nails. So I want her to learn to be still while I'm doing it. Wait. Yes. And what I'm asking her to do here is quietly wait as I move my clippers closer to her paw. Wait. Yes. Good girl. So the first step is getting used to having your paws touched, and that could be with a hand. So wait. Yes. Or it could be with the clippers themselves. Wait. Oh, darling. Yes, good girl. So I just want them getting used to that idea that your paws can be touched. So she already offers paws, and this is, again, something we should be teaching puppies, to offer all 4 paws on a different cue so that they're comfortable to do so. And so we could ask her for a foot. Good. And then move the clippers. Yes, good girl. See that quick little lip lick there? That may have been that she was just a touch uncomfortable with that, or a little bit conflicted. So we're going to take it slow. And that was actually her offering a trick. She knows a trick called yummy. Yummy. Yes, good girl. So that's different from a little lip flick when she's unhappy. Foot. Yes, we can see there's a little ticklishness there, but she's generally comfortable. Foot. Yes. So I'm just making the clipping noise around her foot. Paw. Yes, good girl. But this could just as easily be with her paws still on the ground. Wait. Good, good girl. So the first step is be touched, or have the nail clippers touch you, and have the nail clippers in proximity. Make snipping noises, yes, and everything's very easy for you. And then we want to teach about the sound of having your nails clipped, because that can be quite frightening for dogs because they're used to it and they know it doesn't sound good. So we can do things like cutting a bit of spaghetti. Yes. And that mimics the sound of the nail being cut. Yes. And we might do that closer and closer to the foot. Evie, sit. Wait. Yes. So that when that noise of clipping starts to happen, it's not a big shock. Yeah, beautiful girl. Beautiful girl. So we also want to teach that individual paw handling is fine. So, good girl, or individual digit handling. Yes. So just teaching them that each foot being touched and handled is fine, and each toenail. Yes, you're a little bit ticklish, aren't you? Good girl. And again, she's very comfortable with this because we've done a lot of work on it. But if you had a dog who was sensitive to having their feet touched, you would start at the shoulder. So you would gently touch. Yes. And that little lip lick again, did you see when I leaned over her head? She wasn't entirely comfortable with that, so we're going to watch that. Can you sit, my sweet? Good. So I'm going to touch her shoulder, slide towards her foot. Yes. And if you had a dog who was very sensitive, you would take a long time to do this. So we have that little touch gradient. Yes. As they feel you coming, they know where you're going. Nice and slow. So it could take you weeks to get to the point where they're comfortable with you moving in and touching their foot. Yes, or offering their foot. So then we build on that. Can you sit, my sweet? Sit. Great job. Paw. Lovely. And then we want them getting used to, yes, the nail clippers contacting the nail, and even just a tiny bit of opening and closing on the nail. Yes, good job. But I'm not cutting anything yet. Yes. So just getting used to that, tiny bit of pressure. Yes. And that was just taking a tiny bit off. All consensual. And again, if she withdraws her foot or steps off the platform, I stop. Do you want to continue? Good. Yes, good job. Yes, good girl. And I'm just putting a tiny bit of pressure on the nail. You can see she's decided to hop off for a second, and when she hops back on, I know she's fine. And we can teach all 4 feet. Yes, good. So that they're super comfortable, because again, we tend to focus on the front ones, so don't forget to teach all the feet. Yes, good job. Good girl. Nicely done. Beautiful. So take your time, train for what you can. When you can't train, if you have a really worried animal that isn't particularly comfortable having their feet touched, you can, if they are comfortable, feed while you work around them. So you can give them something like Chase and Chomp or something like this from Kong, and engage them in something super delicious, but you need to make sure they're comfortable to be eating and touched at the same time. And we can't use food coercively. So we can't have an animal who's being lured to eat while really not being comfortable with their body being handled. So we want to make sure they're super engaged with the food treat. And if they're not trained in advance, then we just, whoops, that was my clumsiness. There we go. There we go. I'm going to put that there. And then we work around them. So we might pick up a paw, clip the nail while they're busy. So we're giving them something good and associating while we work around them, rather than forcing the issue or saying, well, only pre-trained dogs can come have their nails clipped. So there's lots of different options. So if you have a worried dog, do not proceed. Seek veterinary intervention and get sedation or anti-anxiety medication if it has to be done, but it rarely has to be done. So let's teach them how to enjoy it.